Well, lovely to meet you, and thank you for letting me come into your home,
Yeah,
this
you're
lovely
welcome.
terrace of yours. I just wanted to ask you, why on earth are you in Italy? What brought you here?
What brought me to Italy? Yeah, I was really keen to leave Denmark. Let us just say that. I don't miss Denmark at
Mm.
all. I needed to be in a place where there are more freedom and more happiness. So I see Italian as more happy people, and I like that. If the police are stopping you, if you are driving a little too fast, you can always they say, okay, don't do it again. They're more elastic in the
Yeah.
things, and I love that. I don't like that things are in boxes just like this, and you have to fit in one of these boxes. I don't fit in a box, and I like that. I don't like so much if everything is in order. I like a little chaos,
That's
because
nice.
in the chaos you have the freedom and you have the happiness. Happiness is not about money.
No, it's
No,
freedom,
it's freedom. And
definitely.
what is freedom? That's the big question. For me, it's possibility to do things you want to do.
Don't you find that some people find the lack of order, though, in Italy quite annoying when they get here? They want the freedom, but they also want everything to work perfectly. So it sort of conflicts a little bit.
It's true. It's true. You have to learn to say, okay, it's not today, because there's something is not going to happen today, maybe tomorrow, maybe not at all. You have to learn that. If you can't learn it, you can't take your own culture with you here. You have to do as Italians. That's a big thing. You have to do that. You have to learn to do that.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
So how long have you been living in Italy?
23 years.
And have you always lived here? We're in Umbria today,
Yeah, we in Umbria.
fabulous, the green heart of Italy,
Yes.
with magnificent view. You haven't always lived in Umbria.
No, I moved with my Danish husband to Italy. We love the south. And for me, it was actually a little north for me to go up to here. But now I love Umbria. And we have a fantastic social service with the hospitals and all that, doctors, and that's functioned very well. Actually, it's on the level of Toscana, so we have a very good system for
Great.
hospitals and yeah. But we moved to near Anzio,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
and we found this house, and when we moved down here, the computer was not so. It was not so easy as it is now. So I remember I was sitting at home and took my computer to the telephone and was sitting and looking at houses for rent. And then we found this house, and we went also further. But further there, because I like Formia and Gaeta, but it's really expensive because of the military base. There's a military base down there. So they're taking all the houses for rent. They're just taking them. So we ended up in Anzio, and it was a fantastic family who owned the house, and they were so helpful. So it was fantastic. And the neighbor there were two dentists, and they become our friends, and they were also very helpful. So it was a perfect place to be in the start, because we didn't understand anything Italian. We were not able to speak Italian, and we opened a company. So it was, for us, it was very easy to get the license to be here and everything, because I had opened the company a half year before we moved down here.
In
In
Italy?
Italy, yeah.
Okay.
So it was very easy. So we went in and bought a car and got the permission to stay and work and all that.
You don't need a visa then,
No,
of
we
course.
didn't need that. At that time, when we moved down here, we needed the permesso di soggiorno. But I think after 6 years or 7 years something, because EU did something, we could throw it away. I don't.
Okay,
Yeah.
you get a permanent
Yes. Yeah.
permit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I have to look
And-
into that, because I'm really not too well informed about that
Oh.
stuff. No, I'm English, but I got Italian citizenship because I married an Italian, and the law was still the old law where it was
Oh,
automatic.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I just moved here, and everything happened on its own.
Yeah. And then it's changing and all that. But yeah, this year I want to have Italian citizenship. I will I will go for it. I will work for it. I need to do something still, so I have
Okay.
to figure out. And then I wanted that.
So what business did you open?
At that time, I have a company in Denmark. We were making flowers for the hair, artificial, of course, for the hair, and I was also making clothes. I'm a designer. We opened the same company as we have in Denmark, but a small branch here. And after some 10 years or something, we didn't want that any longer.
Time to change.
Yeah, it was time to change. Then we moved to this house after 5 years. At that time, it was difficult economic. So I went to Denmark for 2-3 times a year and worked for a Danish PR agency, also with clothes. And so that was that. So I didn't need to do more.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yes.
How do you make a living now?
I'm actually working online for a Danish company, and I do that some hours every day, and I really like it. And that pays all my expenses. And then I'm making my olive oil, and it's difficult to live on that also because we are a new company. I've done it for 10 years, but before, in the first place, because you are allowed to sell something privately, and I was doing that. But when it's growing and you're selling a lot, you are not allowed to do it. Then you have to register you, and so in the end, I had to do that, and I did that. And after that, we always need money to grow. So there's no money for me and my sister. And she went into the company because I need somebody in Denmark. So I'm taking care of all the trees. We have 500 trees.
500 trees?
Yes.
And you take care of those on your own?
Yes.
So do you need a lot of specialist equipment for that, or is it very manual?
No. I have a fantastic knife or scissor, electric scissor, and it's fantastic. Without that, I couldn't.
500 trees.
Yeah,
I thought my 12 were a problem.
It's a lot, but I really like the work with them. Last year it was a disaster because we had rain at the wrong time, and very strong rain. So all the flowers they went off the trees, so there were no fruits. That was the problem. So the prices went up high.
Right.
EU had also made some problems for us with the prices because they decide that if people in Denmark are buying my olive oil here, before they were paying the Italian taxes, and that's 4%. Then they changed it, so they had to pay 25%. And when people are saying, "Oh my God, it's so expensive," I had to say, "You can't. I'm just following the law. I can't do anything. This one you have to ask your politicians. I can't do anything." And then they came this with the bad weather, and that's how it is sometimes.
So farming is a risk. I mean, you can't bank on having a crop.
No.
And do you think with global warming it's going to get more and more difficult to have a crop, or do you think that was just a particularly bad year?
I think it was a particularly bad year.
So you export your olive oil to Denmark?
Yes, we're selling everything to Denmark. It started just that I was selling a little at that time I didn't have all that trees. And I was just selling to some friends, and then suddenly the friends of my friends' friends, and then it was growing. And that was why I had to open a company in the end. And then we were thinking about, we wanted to sell to a supermarket, but the oil we have from our 500 trees is not enough. We have to sell to the private. And then we made an agreement with somebody else who's also making olive oil, that we could buy their oil. So we made a new oil to a supermarket in Denmark in a very, very beautiful can. We designed with a design
You're a
couple.
designer, yes. So an eye for detail.
And it's really beautiful, this can. So we were selling this to a supermarket, and we are buying this oil from Umbria, but also for Toscana.
And how do you find all the regulations dealing with that sort of a company? Is it very, very complicated to
sometimes
be
it
in
is.
agriculture?
And yes, sometimes it is. Because we have to, if you're selling oil to people in Denmark, as we do, you have to be controlled. You can't stand in your own kitchen and put it on cans and all that. Of course not. So we are doing everything. So when we have our fruit, when we're sending our fruit to the mill, we don't see it before it's on cans. I'm up there and helping to put our labels, and I'm helping to bottle it and all that. But only me and my sister can do it. We can't just take people in to help us with that. We are, of course, paying the mill for helping us with this. And also because all our cans and boxes and all this have to be in a store who have the license to be a store for food. So we are really in need of having this fantastic cooperation, and we have. Next Tuesday, I have a group, I think they're coming 40 people or something, to our olive tasting at the mill. So I'm also doing things like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
great.
So that's funny. That's funny.
So how much does it cost to produce olive oil? Because I know it's really expensive even just to take to the mill. Sometimes I don't even pick my olives. I mean, because obviously I don't have enough to justify going to the mill.
Yeah.
I'd have to mix them with somebody else's anyway. But it's really expensive even just to press them.
Yeah, it is. It is expensive. It is expensive. You can pay cash, or you can give the mill some of your oil. You can do it two different ways. We are paying cash because we need our oil, but it is expensive. But we are actually also having groups, and people are living here in our house, and then they're coming and help us to pick the olives. And then they found out why it is so expensive.
Good.
Because it takes time to put it down. As it takes time. We have these machines with electricians doing this in the tree.
Yeah, it's still tiring though. You still got to hold the thing up.
Yeah, it is. It is a big job. It is.
How long does it take you to pick all of your olives off the trees?
It takes 2 weeks or something like that.
So yours is an extra virgin olive oil?
Yes, it's extra virgin, then it's cold pressed. We are picking them very early, because if you're picking them very early in October, you will get the best oil, and you will get a much more green color and a strong taste.
But you lose a lot of your yield as well,
yes,
don't you?
You do. You get less oil out of it. So if you're waiting to November, you can get more oil, but we want the best.
Good for you.
So, yeah.
So tell me, you also do other things. I mean, I don't know where you find the time to farm your olives. You're a consultant for a company in Denmark, or you host people here when it's harvest time and do tastings. And I know you also do something else as well, don't you?
Yes, I'm selling houses.
Oh God, that as well.
I actually started for more than 10 years ago, because there was some friends of mine who wanted a house, and then I started to look for a house for them. I found one, and then after a period I was thinking, maybe I should just do this. I used a lots of time to go around and talk to maybe 20 different immobiliare, real estate agencies, and told, I'm here. If you want, I can help you to find customers, and I can go out and show the houses with you. And there were some who really wanted to make a cooperation with me. And one of the company, one day he called and said, can you come? I want to ask you something. And he hired me.
Oh, great.
And then I was there for, I think, 1 year or something. And it was good, because I really learned what they're doing. And, so I was there every day at the office. But it was really exhausting, because at that time I was also working for this Danish company. And I also have my olive tree. So I had totally stress. And then came Corona, and he said nobody was able to be at the office. We were not allowed to work. And when he started up again, he called, and I said, no, I'm not coming back, because I want to do the same work, but I want to do it from my home. I need to do it when I'm able to do it. So mostly now I'm working together with a Swedish girl she is a real estate agent, because I am not allowed to sell a house, but I'm just finding the people and helping them to translate what is happening now, the process. I'm telling about the process. And then I'm working with her. So it's great. I'm also now finding a lot of houses, because suddenly people find out in my little town here that I was selling houses. So now everybody's calling me and say, can you sell me my house? Can you sell my house?
Word of mouth works a lot, doesn't it, in Italy?
Yeah. So I am actually working a lot. I'm working a lot. But I like all three jobs. So
do you manage your olive oil and everything on your own? You said your sister helps you,
yes,
but
yeah.
here in the farm itself, you do everything on your own?
My ex-husband helped me to cut the trees. Now when we have been able to selling this house, he wants a boat and live on a boat, and I want to buy a new house. Actually, I found the house I want to buy, so now I hope this house will be sold.
Got another one to sell.
Yes,
It's
yeah,
actually your own.
yes, yeah. And then I will move. It's a townhouse, but there's 1 hectare land also.
So townhouse with a hectare of land. That sounds fun.
Yeah, and I think 80 trees or something. So yeah, so it's great.
Is that in the same village, in the
Yeah,
same town?
it's in the same town. Yeah.
You must like it here a lot then, if you're going to stay
I
in the
love,
same town.
yeah, I love this town.
How'd you get
I
on
like
with
to
the
be
Italians, with your neighbours and everybody? Have you got
very,
any
very fine.
really
Yeah,
well?
yeah.
Are there any things you don't like about living in Italy? I often ask this.
No.
No, great. You've still got your rose tinted glasses on, which is great after that long. It means you're living in the right place for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I found the balance to be on the countryside. I have 2 big Maremano dogs, Italian dogs. And every day I'm walking with them 1 hour. So for me, that's my hour where normally I'm going also and talk to my sister or one of my friends. But it's nice to come out every day. I had a period where I didn't have any dogs, and I really miss to have dogs. So, and then they are also with me when I'm cutting the trees, and so they are
keep you company.
Yes, it's really nice.
So how big is this house? I mean, we might as well tell people about your house since you're selling it.
Yeah, it's 250 square meters.
Oh my goodness,
yeah,
that's big.
Yeah, it is big. Actually, it is 2 houses. So you can be 2 family who's buying this one downstairs and upstairs. And if you want, you can ask for making a stair inside. Otherwise, the stairs is outside.
Well, we have to link the listing.
Yeah,
that would be
we
good,
can do
because
that.
maybe somebody would be curious about it.
Yeah.
And you're doing work on it at the moment. How's
Yes,
that
and
going?
it's going very well now. And when I divorced from more than 10 years ago, my ex-husband went to Denmark and worked. I was living here alone, and it was nice to be here alone. But it's difficult to sell a house who's not finished, and this was not finished. The facade was not finished. So now we are doing everything outside, and we're doing a new bathroom upstairs, some other things also, new front door. This is so ugly. And some new windows, and so we are doing something. So I think now we can sell it.
And are you walking distance to town?
No, it takes 20 minutes, 15
that's
minutes.
still near enough to
Yeah,
walk,
yeah,
though.
you can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it.
So you don't
and you're
really
going
need a car, or do you? Would you need a car to live
You
here?
need a car, but 2 times I actually had people living here who didn't have a car to take care of my cat and my 2 dogs. And just 3 minutes through my olive tree grove, you can take a bus.
Okay.
You can do it without.
Seems like an ideal position, and we're going to have a look at your view in a second.
Yeah, the view
show everybody around.
is fantastic.
Oh, well, let's go outside and have a look at the view then.
Yes.
We're on your terrace.
Yeah, and the mountain you see there, that's Montecchio in Lazio. And
because we're not far from the Lazio border here,
no,
are
it's just on the other side of Tevere, who's running down there.
And that's the Alviano World Wildlife Fund Oasis, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Look at those hills. I must say, I think I prefer Umbria to Tuscany.
You do?
Yeah. I like the fact that it has lakes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think that I like also Tuscany, but maybe I'm a little, I think I'm one of these person. If people say, "Oh, we need to go to Tuscany," I say, "Okay, I don't go." I want to do the opposite thing. This is Monte Amiata.
Yeah. Snow in the winter.
Yes, another one who looks like Egyptian
pyramid.
Yeah, that's Monte Setona. And these mountains over there, Montecchio.
So this is the work you're doing?
Yes.
You're doing the facade.
Facade finished up over all the stones.
Okay. This is the stone that you're having put on the facade. That's really nice. And you've got that typical volcanic stone as well.
Yes. The whole house is built in this. One of my very good friends, he said that the structure of this house is fantastic.
Bougainvillea, I love those.
Yeah.
It must be quite mild here if that's lived through the winter.
And it's always there.
You don't have to cover that in the winter.
We are covering the roots.
Just the roots.
Yeah. Now you can see we are doing all this work with the house, and we haven't cut the grass, so it's a mess.
It's ecological.
Yes, it is. We have problem with the machine, so tomorrow we will cut the grass. I'm doing all the roses and all this stuff. Actually, I made all the roses.
Oh, did you? Little cuttings?
Yeah.
Do you still do any design work apart from your olive oil pans?
Yes, I'm doing embroidery things.
You even have time to do embroidery?
Every evening I'm sitting and making embroidery.
Oh, how lovely. It seems if you do live the life that you like, I must say, you've got a lovely smile on your face about every single thing you talk about.
Oh, yeah, it's true. I like all the things I'm doing. I'm a tough worker. I like to work.
Just another question. Often people ask how much money you would need to live in Italy, and it can vary so much from town to town, and there's a lot of variables obviously depending on your lifestyle. But what do you think the bare minimum is to live, just the bare minimum?
2,000 euro.
Yeah, I agree. At least.
Something like that. Then you can manage.
If you don't have rent and a mortgage.
Yeah, but no, still with a little mortgage, I think you can do it for 2,000 euro.
Okay.
Around that area, you can do.
Okay.
And when we moved down here, you could do it for half.
Yeah, it's gone up a lot, hasn't it?
Yes.
The cost of living has doubled in the past few years.
Yes, it has. Yeah, and I think you could because it's not so expensive to be. It's depending, as you said, if you're one of these who's going out and eating every day, so then of course you can't. But
is food cheaper here than in Denmark, do you think?
Yes, very much cheaper. Very, very cheaper. Yeah, the level is lower here in Italy, definitely.
I'd like to see all your olive trees.
I can show you my embroidery things as well.
Yes, please do.
We can go up here and you can just see what we have up here.
Okay.
And look at the view, isn't it beautiful? I never get tired of this view. It's so fantastic. It's really beautiful. But here is some of my trees. Just some of them. This is the new fruit. I'm sitting and working here every day. And look at that view when I'm sitting and working. This is my hobby.
Now that is beautiful.
Mila.
Oh, I love the colours. How long did it take you to do that? Couple of years.
No. Maybe some months. Then I'm finished. I'm fast.
Gorgeous.
This one I really liked. It will be a blanket.
Does it get cold here in the winter?
No, not cold. We have been here for 17 years or something here. 2 times we had snow here, so it's not cold. It's not cold.